Good Friday morning, everyone joining us for the first time. Thanks for coming by and checking out the Market Chameleon pre-market show with this man, all the way from sunny Costa Rica, my twin brother, Adam McBride.
Let's go, man.
Before we get started, let's do the disclaimer. Market Chameleon, Adam, myself are not registered investment advisors. Anything we say should be taken with a big grain of salt and is for idea purposes only. If you need investment help, seek the services of an RIA, broker dealer, professional. Read the disclaimer. As you're doing that, I'm going to rename myself from support at Market Chameleon, which you can always email, even with DEMA away. Your emails will get answered if you email support at Market Chameleon.
Are you have an AI bot doing your support yet? I've been playing around with the AI support ticket systems the last couple of days. They're a little bit clunky.
How's it working?
They're a little bit clunky, man.
You think?
We're not ready to move fully AI just yet. Not quite, brother.
So for those who don't know what an AI bot is, obviously AI is all over the news, and my brother, who's big into the tech space, has been playing around with it viciously for, I don't know, months now. And he's been, trying to create an AI bot to help his businesses. And by an AI bot, it would be an AI feature that could respond to questions, right? Basically.
Exactly. So like on your screen right now on the Chameleon, on the bottom right-hand corner, you have a contact us button, right?
Yeah.
So, that usually traditionally will send an email. Some sites have like a live person there where you can actually chat. This, in theory, you can put in all your old chats, and we literally have like hundreds of old chats, and it's supposed to like learn from that. And I can report back that it doesn't really, it kind of learns, but it doesn't learn like a human does, where it literally grasps maybe complex things. It'll tell you, basic stuff, where to go, what page to do this on or that on. But the grasping of like a complex subject is still quite beyond it right now.
Yeah, people have been asking for an AI of Dimitri that could just be asked questions all day long. So that's not coming anytime soon. You can't take all his email responses, all his videos, download them into some,
upload them, get the virtual Dimitri. I tell you, well, the thing is, this is what you got to realize, and anybody who's playing around with AI and playing around with ChatGPT or whatever, is know that it can be it sounds confident, but it can be amazingly wrong. I'll give you an example. Like, we have a service where people mint NFTs, basically. Service costs like $20. I punched in like, hey, how much is it to mint? And it's like, it's $114. And I'm like, I don't even know where it got that number from, but it said it with such conviction that, if I was selling the product through this thing, it would have been a lost sale. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. But while let's look at the pre-market, as Dimitri does every morning. This is the pre-market homepage report. These are the stocks, all the stocks, gainers, decliners, more decliners today than gainers. I guess it is a down market. We usually like to say it's an up market, but today looks like a down market. And if you go up to any ETF, you can actually scan by the biggest 500 companies. I think they're 506. I think that was brought up recently in the SPY. Any of those stocks ring a bell? Most active this morning: Tesla, Amazon, CCL, AMD. Is AMD, are their chips big in AI processing, or is that NVIDIA? Or
AMD? No, it's NVIDIA mainly. It's the graphical chips. Interesting news on Tesla. Did you hear the Elon thing the other day?
No. Why don't you tell us?
So somebody on Twitter was like, hey, Elon, man, you should really, we should have the battle of the tech giants, you versus Zuck, Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook. And Elon actually responded to this dude's tweet. He was like, I'd cage match Zuck. And like 2 minutes later, Zuckerberg sends a reply message, and it says, send location.
Really? Is that
yeah?
Is that verifiable?
It's verified. And then Dana White, the UFC dude, is like, let's do it.
Wait,
this
all on
might
this
actually happen, bro.
all on this Twitter stream?
This was I think it was on like Instagram.
Is this good for their stocks?
Bro, it would be. Dana White's like, this would be the biggest fight of all time. Like Ali, Frazier, no way. This is Zuck, Elon would be the biggest fight of all time.
How much would you pay for that? And does it go to charity, or
I would definitely
split it?
I would definitely pay the pay-per-view fee. Like, this is one I would actually want. I know I would never pay for, fights or whatever, but I would pay for this one, man. I mean, I had friends DMing me, were like, dude, come on, let's go. I got friends in Vegas. We're like, bro, it's gonna happen here. We're gonna have a party. This is gonna be sick. So yeah.
So what's the delta or chance of this thing happening?
0.0, dude. Because Zuck,
No way.
If you haven't seen Zuckerberg, look, Elon's not a fool, and Zuckerberg is a savage beast now. I mean, the transformation of Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos became jacked. Zuck has become jacked and an MMA fighter. Like he does MMA fights, like legit. He's a scary dude right now.
Really?
Oh, he's savage, man. Completely savage. Yeah, like legit. He did something, I think what's one of these like extreme exercise things where you do, 1,000 push-ups and 200 pull-ups, and like elite level is like 35 minutes. He did it in 40 minutes. Like elite, like world-class level is like 35 minutes. He did it in 40 minutes. Yeah, he's sick, dude.
Chuck from Minneapolis says Zuck would be quick in the cage.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it would be over quick, dude. Yeah, I mean, Elon's like me, man. 50, slow and fat, dude. That's not a winning combo, man.
You don't think?
No.
Yeah, no, I was just feeling my belly move a little bit walking down the stairs. I was like, this is disgusting. It's a shame.
So Tesla, tell us what's a good play, man.
Well, I was just going to go take a look. I mean, again, because I want to talk about Ken Griffman's comments about China yesterday. But, paying for Tesla at $264 right now, it's a lot of capital at risk. So you can search and try to do some option strategies. Obviously, limited the amount of money you'll lose. And, you could pick, they've shown some long calls, which are price, you look at them and they're pricey, right? You can click on it and see the option chain.
Tell me what to look at, man. Look at that.
Are you seeing the screen?
Yeah, man.
Well, that's your downside right there.
Yep. So
$1,000. And you have, unlimited upside. Obviously, Barron was on today just talking about, and obviously this is for informational purposes only, just showing you around the site. But Barron was saying, and he's a big Elon investor, that he sees it doubling by the end of the year and 1,500 by 2025. And what he was saying, which was interesting today, and we have a big Tesla user on the chat right now, Laurent, and who's super happy with his cars. That they are actually a value vehicle now. The average American car, and anyone can correct me if they've heard differently, is like 48 grand. And now you can get a Tesla in the low 40s, and plus you get the $7,500 tax credit. Again, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's going to make for, in his opinion, and this guy's been a perma bull on, and he's like you, and you made this comment years ago, and other people have said it as well. You're about the jockey, right?
Yep.
And he's invested heavily in all of Tesla's project. He took, and then this is through his fund, but he also, most of his personal holdings are in Tesla or in Elon Musk run companies, SpaceX. He's an investor in Twitter and Tesla. So yeah, they're Ron Barron's the gentleman's name, and he and Kathy Wood are just perma bulls. But he did sell some of the stock, I think. And Rob, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he did sell some of the position because it was made up too much of the fund, probably a year ago, maybe. And he still holds it, and he owns it personally as well. It is interesting, but you could also look, see if their credit spreads available. It's always nice to do a bullish credit spread. So you just go to the trade ideas. Let's see if there's anything.
Well, I mean, hey, you get that nice little government rebate, government market manipulation, man. It's hard to bet against that, dude. I was pushing you to get a tab. I've been pushing you to get a Tesla for 2
Yeah,
years.
my wife usually gets the new cars. I get the hand-me-downs, and now the kids get my hand-me-downs. And I would love one. Basically from it does look, and I'd love what Lawrence has to say about the driverless feature. And I know it's a premium, so you're not paying the lowest price. You're probably going to add 10 to 15 grand for the tech, but
Yep.
That seems like a world-class option. If you could get on a highway, and legally you can't lie back, but I've seen Tesla drivers like doing just about everything on the road. Every time you look at them on the highway, it's incredible. Phones, they're watching a movie, they're eating. Crazy.
I think at the minimum, you can ramp down your attention. I mean, that's the main thing that I've heard from people who use Tesla, for trips and stuff like that, is that the attention you needed, which was, you need 90% attention to drive on the highway. And, highway driving, 4 or 5 hour highway drive is brutal, because you need to pay attention, and, you can ramp it down to 30% when you have a Tesla. And that's just completely game changing for the 2-3 hour road trip, which
how far off is it until you're 0%? You can
it's
be 100%.
funny. It's definitely been much slower than we anticipated, right? When we were talking about this 3-4 years ago, Elon at the time, Elon does overpromise and underdeliver to a large degree. And, he was saying it's this year, he was saying that 3-4 years ago. And obviously the tech is incredibly difficult. This is amazing.
Yeah, and the tech is incredible, right? What he's been able to put together, not only in the vehicle, but the other car companies have been trying to set up charging stations, and his charging stations are just far superior.
Yep.
The breakdown, the speed, the quality, and now the locations. They have all the good locations that the other car companies are like, we're going to build for the Tesla charger. It is amazing.
And he's got the government wind in his sails, man. And the way that works, man, it's really, really almost impossible to fight against that. If you're a super efficient gas powered car manufacturer, you are at a significant disadvantage. Obviously, if they're still offering that $7,000 tax rebate on a $40,000 car, that's whatever, 18% discount. It's not fair.
You're saying it's a no-brainer?
It's a no-brainer. It's, me, it's like, I think it's terrible. The government shouldn't be involved in this sort of stuff. It's ridiculous.
If they're going to give you the free,
but if you're going to do
money,
it,
do it.
If you got to invest, this is the issue, right? This is where the graft and corruption,
oh God, here we go.
Picks winners and losers, bro. And we're picking, we're picking this. We're picking the smartest guy in the room, which is fine, but still it's,
wait, is he the smartest, or is our Meta owner who changed his name from Facebook to Meta?
If Zuck maybe made a mistake or two along the way, he probably should have bought Tesla when it was reasonable.
Yeah, he probably could have owned the whole company at one point.
Yep.
Who do you pick Zuck in the cage match? Who do you pick in the market? Who would you put your money behind?
Honestly, if it was from scratch, like zero, you got to pick Elon, because Elon's done it a couple times. Zuck's only done it once. Zuck is the better acquirer of companies. Obviously, Zuck's really been amazing at acquisitions. You got to give Zuck credit with acquisitions. I think there's probably, maybe you could make a case for some other ones. Google's acquisition of YouTube was probably the greatest acquisition of all time. But Zuck's acquisition of
really Instagram, you don't think it's better?
No. Certainly, YouTube is the most powerful. I can't think of of platforms right now. YouTube's the best platform in the world. And I'd probably, if I was just going to take one, I'd take YouTube over basically anything else. Not to say it can't be dethroned, but YouTube has kind of the biggest moat in the entire social space for me.
Why is that?
It's this amazing, they've been able to allow creators to monetize, which is really this uber strength. While all other social platforms have really struggled to reward creators. And obviously it's the top make almost everything, but even a mid to upper mid creator on YouTube can make $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, or even $1 million a year. Like if you get successful, people know if you get successful on YouTube, certainly in like a niche, like, you know, finance or something, you can make real money, like real money. And so from a creator perspective, YouTube is, you know, the 1,000-pound gorilla, and it's almost impossible to dethrone that because they've built this ad model, which so nicely like interfaces with YouTube. And so, you know, for somebody else to do that is almost impossible. I saw the other day Twitch, you know, Amazon product, Twitch which is the gaming one, you know, was basically making it illegal on the platform to stream to multiple platforms at the same time. And I think that's the end of days for Twitch. It's really incredible that they would be so short-sighted because the vast majority of creators on Twitch can't monetize their audience. So these people broadcast to YouTube and they broadcast kind of all over the place. And you know, we had creators like Ninja, one of the biggest, you know, gamers in the world. Like, I think I'm going to leave Twitch. So, you know, for that very specific reason, which is like they'll use Twitch because it has some good tools and has good like chats and stuff like that. But they're also broadcasting to YouTube where they can monetize.
That is amazing. Rob was asking what part of Google owns. There are 2 Google shares. I think it's Alphabet, but it may be owned in both of them. That is something to check on if you want to participate in the YouTube piece, because they haven't really, you don't know what part of their, you know, what YouTube makes up of the whole Google structure, right? What revenue sources.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
Huh?
It's interesting. You wonder actually, you know, with the growth of AI and search, you know, if, you know, search obviously for Google has been this thing. But you wonder in 5 years, is search going to be the thing? I mean, YouTube may be the most important thing Google owns right now.
Yeah, no, so true. And you know, search usually starts with a question, right? And that's where ChatGPT is interesting, right? It gets right to the answer.
Yeah,
and
it's the idea that we're going to put up with asking a question and getting 10 links, like that's over by the end of this year. Like nobody's going to put up.
Whoa. What's that? What does that mean for every website in the market garners traffic from Google?
It's their ad model is they're going to have to reinvent themselves. I think they're probably best positioned to do it because they have this kind of like broad reach into so many tools and so many interfaces where you and I interface with Google. So they actually, even though their Bard product right now completely sucks, I think they have a window of opportunity where they can make up the ground on GPT and actually be, you know, if they integrate it right, and they haven't done that, you know, they've had so many fails that it's real possibility that Google fails at that and becomes not the leader. So that's certainly possible, but Google has a chance to do it. They have this kind of broad reach of products and touch points where they could be the winner in AI search.
Yeah. There's some commentary. I don't know if it was brought up by your not that you're anti-government, but you have a lot of questions about the government. Yeah. And it is interesting because in the state I live, there was a terrible incident along the 95 corridor where there was a big, I don't know if you're aware of this, but a big section of 95 came down because of an explosion of an oil tanker. Are you aware of this?
Yeah.
I was making a delivery. So it was a big section of 95. I mean, there were commentary that it would be down years potentially. Well, they've got it up and running in 12 days, which is, you know, obviously it's contractors, right, doing it, but
bro,
we were able to get their act together.
Contractors, man. It was like I saw a thing on the It was when they had the earthquake in California, collapsed those huge sections of
Oh, that was
right?
brutal.
You
Were
remember
were
that?
they pancaked on top of each other?
Pancake, terrible, right?
Yeah.
They incentivize the contractors, like, every day you're early, you get $5 million, some craziness like this, bro. It's
Really?
amazing. It's what humans can do when they're highly motivated by money, and you take away government bureaucracy in the process, right? It's amazing what individuals can do, and
Yeah.
corporations can do, no doubt.
Mike said they painted the white lines last night. It's amazing.
Yeah, dude. Imagine if they had to go through a real process, though. Imagine if they had to go through the legitimate, like, oh, you got to get the fucking the environmental engineering done. You've got to do a study.
Wait, do I have to go back and bleep that? I forget. Is that legal?
No, I cut it off. I cut off.
All
Okay. Yeah, you know the way it is, man. Though, but yeah, when humans are allowed to actually like do things freely, it is ridiculous what we can build and produce.
Yeah, no, you can take subs 20 times down to the Titanic, and the 21st time it does a little.
But by the way,
mistake.
Is that the greatest? I mean, rest in peace, right? But is that the greatest marketing campaign ever for sub tourism? If you can is there
marketing campaign? I think it's is anyone ever going to go in a sub again?
Bro, the entire world didn't even know that tourism existed 3 days ago. Now everybody knows it exists, and everybody with high net worth it's on their radar as something to do.
Really?
Is there a play in sub tourism? Because y'all need to go long sub tourism right now, man. This is incredible. It's like if space travel was available to a tourist. This is
the great thing about markets, because I'm on the other side of it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're wrong, dude. You're wrong, because it's like, dude, it's like literally if nobody knew that that you could take a cruise, like nobody knew it yesterday, and then a cruise sank, and everybody was like, wait a minute, there are big ships that float around the ocean and have pools, and you can do zip lines on and stuff. Wait, that's pretty cool. I want to do that. That's what's just happened. Nobody knew about submarine tourism.
That's true. I was unaware of it. But I do know about space tourism. I'll tell you, if Elon Musk goes up, anytime he goes up in a rocket, put on your bearish bets, because if he goes down, it's a big hit.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, this was the CEO of the company and 2 billionaires. I mean, peace and love. I can't speak for someone who has $1 billion, but it seems like going on a sub down to and by the way, you sign like 5 pages of waivers, and like in the first page 10 times death is mentioned. Yeah. Doesn't seem like a nice waiver to be signed. I don't know.
Bro, this is what humans do, man. I mean, all you got to do is look at the lines of people climbing Everest. Is like, when you get $1 billion and you have everything.
I love the mayor says, no way are you bolting me into a sub with 5 other men. And by the way, they were all sitting, you had to sit Indian style. I mean, are you kidding me? And it was like, to look at when you got down there, this is what you were looking at. There was one like 9-inch
tiny window. Or they might not even have had a window. It's just like a screen and a camera.
Call me a claustrophobe. There is no way. And I mean, it's the space tourism. It's, to me, the same,
Same
but
to you. Yeah, I get it.
Whatever. I mean, it's for the, let's get to Mars, I guess. I have no idea, but that seems. But again, the point I was gonna make was not discuss whether, a wealthy chameleon would get on a sub and go to the bottom of the ocean and take those risks of the pressure. But it was the amazing part was the U.S. government knew instantaneously. They went, but they have, monitors all over the world in the oceans.
Oh, so they picked up the explosion.
They literally knew. They knew when it was launched, so they went back to the tape basically, and knew there was an implosion in that part of the ocean.
Ouch.
Which is crazy, right?
Technology, man. Technology.
I don't think
it's
it was
interesting that you're like, I mean, I understand the idea.
Well, I pulled. Well,
you understand why they do it, right? You get it, right?
Well, Laurent, I mean, he's a big techie like you. He says stocks for sub tourism question. I agree with Adam. Mike obviously is no way getting in with 5 other men. Chuck, I think Chuck's probably out, but maybe. Rob, 250 grand. He seems probably cheap. It's probably a cheap option to go down.
Yeah, man. It's nothing, dude. It's nothing. Literally for, you know, a deca millionaire, billionaire. This is like, what are we going to do this weekend? You know, that's
with my 18-year-old son. I don't know. She seems like a nice Knicks game, but I guess you can only go to so many professional sporting events owned. I mean, it's, you know, certainly an well, Chuck, were you in the Navy and worked in a nuclear sub? So Chuck's been down at depth. That's amazing.
Yeah, but he's never seen that Titanic, man. You know how many people have seen that Titanic?
I don't know. I know 5 who didn't.
Handfuls, man. People want to be in that handful crowd, man. They do. Look, you're going to a dinner party with a bunch of other billionaires and everybody's flexing. What's the thing you're going to flex about, man? Right? Everybody's got the stupid Ferrari. Everybody's got the Aspen house. You know, humans play these social games, period, full stop. And if you can do something a little bit different, a little bit interesting, this is what humans do. And this is just at the billionaire level. What are you going to do, man?
Is that like us wave skiing instead of surfing? It's just something a little bit different.
A little bit different, man. A little bit. Yep. That's exactly right. You know, we all do it. And even though we don't see it or maybe even understand what we do, we all do it to some degree because this is the way humans operate, you know? And any one of you saying, I never social signal, really? All you need, look at your t-shirt, man. What do you have on right now? Or look at your glasses that you bought, or look at your sneakers, or your car, or your house, or where you live, or anything. And we social signal all the time, man. This is how humans operate.
And we'll leave it at that. Social signal, and let's get out there and signal our love for the Market Chameleon. Awesome job, brother. You bring I still have not got to the Chinese stocks 2 days after Ken Griffin. So everyone, please take a look at the Chinese stocks, see if there are any opportunities. If you would think to get long with options, because I don't think holding the equity is a lot more risk, obviously. So we'll look at it on Monday. Awesome job, brother. Thanks for bringing it. We'll see you on Monday, Market Chameleons, and we'll see you, my brother.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day, everybody.